Wendy, very good morning. Thank you so much for speaking with us. Talk to us about those complaints that you're getting about some of the delivery drivers not adhering to the COVID-19 health and safety regulations.
Good morning. Thank you so much. It's been a challenging week that we've had since we've turned on the lights to the restaurant industry. A lot of our restaurants are certainly doing wonderful deliveries, and they're putting through the processes and the health and hygiene standards for our restaurants. And it's been a good week. It's been a trying week. We certainly nowhere near the turnovers that we wish we were doing. But the industry is definitely supporting us. Consumers are supporting us. And we will endeavour and continue to deliver the best food we can to your home. Alongside that, we're also going to continue to put pressure on government to assist us in helping us open for contactless collection or curbside collection as a result of the influx that we've been having with the third-party delivery guys. So we certainly are going to continue those conversations and look for assistance in getting momentum for us to get open for collection.
So Wendy, you're basically saying because these are third-party delivery services that restaurants are not really to blame when it comes to some of the, if they're not adhering to regulations of the COVID-19?
Third-party deliveries are not necessarily an extension of employment from our restaurant. They're employed through a different organisation. I have seen that there are a number of restaurants that are doing their own deliveries, and they've really gone to the extension of doing the proper PPE, sanitisation, health and hygiene standards. But not every single restaurant has the infrastructure to be able to put their own deliveries on the road. You know, it's an expensive measurement and an expensive extension on your business. And we've really had a difficult last 6 weeks. And now to try and bring a further component from a financial point of view into our restaurants is very difficult. So we rely heavily on the third-party delivery guys to ensure that they meet the standards of the industry and health and hygiene standards to safely deliver food to the homes.
Okay, so talking about our health and hygiene, there's been complaints, throughout the media. We even got to a point where an MAC in KwaZulu-Natal also was warning people to check their food first because some of the food has not been of the best quality in terms of some of the food has blatantly just been rotten that's being delivered. Are you dealing with this as the association?
We haven't had complaints of that nature. In fact, we've had more compliments than we've had complaints. The compliments have been great that the restaurants have opened. We've seen an influx of other brands who wanted to remain closed through this next stage also opening. The demand for delivery is very, very high. The concern that we've been having and the request that we've been having, exponential requests, is that consumers feel that they also have the right to collect their food as an extension of their shopping trip. So what we can speak for is that, especially in the high-density shopping centres where they've driven by public transport. You know, sometimes they've been an hour on the taxis and they're looking to also have the privilege of a takeaway meal. And because there isn't a formal address to deliver to, we're prejudicing those parts of society in not being able to get a meal. But I think that the bigger challenge here is really the amount of contact that goes into one delivery. And whilst we respect and we hear the minister saying that they're looking for as little contact and little movement on the ground, we are still exposing the restaurant staff within the restaurants to the third-party delivery staff that come in to collect the meals.
But Wendy, I just want to go back to that second issue I raised with you there about food that is, not of the best quality reaching consumers, because you've had restaurants that were shut for quite a long time, and obviously they've had stocks in place where they was refrigerated or not, and then all of a sudden you're now allowed to deliver that food to people's homes and so forth. Surely there must be some sort of problems, and also some food doesn't travel well after it's stayed refrigerated for so long. Surely there must be problems there.
We saw that there was one specific post that had gone viral by a specific person who made allegations to say that the food had been sitting in refrigeration that had been off for a very long time. We did trade off most of our stock prior to opening. The cash flow system on a restaurant doesn't allow for food to be stored for such long time. Also, the refrigeration in restaurants, given by the health restrictions, requires very detailed and sophisticated measurements to keep it at certain temperatures. So you're no further at risk now by food that may have been in refrigeration than what you would be ordinarily within a restaurant that is trading under normal conditions or even in supermarkets. A lot of food can be broken in the food chain on delivery to a particular establishment or to a particular supermarket. So I think it's very short-sighted on the consumer's part. And if there is a indiscrepancy, they are welcome to report it to the association. But like I said to you, I haven't had any reports from consumers on any inadequacies in food quality. Okay. I've just had a lot of demand for consumers who feel that they are discriminated in not having the right to be able to collect their own food from restaurants.
All right, thank you so much, Wendy Albert, CEO of the Restaurant Association of South Africa. They're saying no complaints have been forwarded to them. Nobody's complained to them about the quality of food at the present moment.